Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kurt, and welcome back to Far Lands or Bust. That was confusing. I was looking up in this direction, and I thought that this looks kind of disconcerting. Like, that's the door in front of us? Does that not make sense? But anyway, I'm distracted. This is actually the front of the hidey hole, and this is episode 484 of Far Lands or Bust. Monday, May 18th, 2015 is when this is being recorded. Depending on how the time works out, it might be released today or tomorrow, Tuesday. But yeah, welcome back to Far Lands or Bust. Got some crazy things to discuss. Whoops. Got some crazy lag and jitteriness there when we broke that torch. But let's get going. I hear footsteps. It is just a cow. That's all right. And a skeleton died right outside our doors. But I've got some good news. Good news, everyone. Good news indeed. We are recording this episode live on Twitch TV, as I mentioned, in front of a live studio audience. Hello, everybody on Twitch. Say hello to everybody on YouTube. Hello, hello, hi. How are you? Good. Continuing on. We are going to continue walking to the Far Lands here in episode 44. Like I said, Monday, May 18th, 2015. Guess what? Guess what? Chicken butt. No, guess what? 100%. 100% of our Season 5 goal of Child's Play charity, our Child's Play charity fundraiser, rather, has been reached. We are up to $50,151.49. That's crazy. We did it. We did it, everybody. We did it. That came as a surprise and a shock to everybody, I feel. Over the weekend, we got one extremely generous donation. And in fact, if I was able to search all past donations, I might be able to verify this, but I believe it is probably one of the top donations we've ever received, aside from one or two from the man himself, from Notch, in past seasons. But this was not from Notch. So that is why it has caught us quite off guard, and I would like to send out an appeal. I hope that this person watches Far Lands or Bust. That would make sense, but I'm not going to say your name. Right now, I would like to properly thank you in an episode, and I will do such things as these. You've left your name, so I know your name. But if you could somehow contact me, because I would like to, A, thank you personally, away from the camera, and B, maybe see if there is some sort of story behind your very generous donation. Perhaps you forgot a decimal point, or I don't know, but I would like that to happen. So if you could contact me, there is a business email available on my YouTube channel and on farlandsorbust.com. Wolfie, oh, good gravy, goodness, googly moogly. Did you see how he was walking straight towards that lava? And I saved his life by making him teleport. All right, we've had one too many milestones passed. We don't need anything else to happen, Wolfie. Let's be a little bit sensible now. Let's calm down. Everybody, stop freaking out. Wolfie's fine. How about I give you a treat? Good job, Wolfie. Good job not falling into oblivion. I just ate that, didn't I? Dang it. So yeah, if you could contact me, person who donated very much and very generously to Child's Play charity, that would be great. That would be great. And if not, if you don't want to cut that, that's fine too. I will allow you to have graciously donated and then disappear back into the ether as a I don't know, what is that? As a vision of helping Child's Play charity in Far Lands or Bust, as a vision of great charitable donation-ness-itude. Which would be much appreciated. But I am going to answer your question today. But yeah, we're continuing on here in Far Lands or Bust. Yeah, Brian in the chat here on Twitch says he hopes that the donation was not a floating point precision error. Yeah, perhaps you jittered too much and bloop bloop. There was a decimal floated over or something. No, but yeah, very, very much appreciated. Of course, all the donations. We had quite a few very generous donations come in response to last week's live stream. Was very successful. We raised over $1,000 during the live stream. We're live streaming now, even though we've already raised the goal, and we've had some donations come in and a lot of good questions that we're going to get to. And also, we saw just before we started recording here, we passed yet another milestone as far as the size of the Minecraft world. We are now past 17,000 megabytes. Specifically 7,027.8. I'm sorry, 0.9 megabytes is where the world was at as far as the physical hard disk space it takes up on the hard drive, which is pretty crazy. Pretty crazy indeed. Right, Wolfie? Woof, right, Wolfie? That was totally intentional. But yeah, that's pretty crazy as well. So we've done momentous things here. We've increased the size of our world past 17 gigs, thereabouts, and we raised $50,000 for Child's Play charity. Much appreciated, much appreciated. I also wanted to mention, I saw him here in the chat, and I've liked and retweeted his posts here, but our friend from way back in the day, speaking of having raised money for Child's Play charity for over 4 years, but from way back in the day, you may remember him as Irish Lantern, but he now goes by Games Plus James, or James Plus Games, Games Plus James, recently launched his own Kickstarter for his own game. Kickstarter for a game called Portal Knots. I could put the link in the video description, I suppose, on YouTube. But Portal Knots, it's kind of a cool-looking 2D action platformer, he calls it. He's running a Kickstarter. He's got a free demo available there. It seems apparently you can switch characters, kind of like I hope I'm not like selling this wrong, but it's kind of like Trine, but in like single player mode where you could switch characters and they have different abilities and things. A cool little game. So now Irish Lantern / Games Plus James is now making the games, making the video games. And that's pretty cool. So I would recommend everybody check that out. And if you so desire, send your support to an old friend of Far Lands or Busts. Started doing YouTube videos and Minecraft videos about the same time that I did. There he is, Games Plus James. That's what I was. That's exactly what I meant. Portal Knots. Did I say that wrong? Are you correcting me? But yeah, that would be pretty cool to check that out. Some new games. But yeah, like I said, we started about the same time doing YouTube. I believe he like moved like hemispheres on the planet and is now ending up actually making video games. So that's pretty cool. Cool beans, cool stuff indeed. I might have to try that game out myself on the YouTubes to share it, the demo or whatever. So yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Just letting you know what's going on with the YouTubes. It's not all just Far Lands or Busts and other Minecraft stuff. And of course, my channel's been nothing but racing games and driving games recently. But yeah, pretty cool stuff. Also, what did I want to talk about? Let's not talk. I saw Mad Max last night. I could give my thoughts on that, but maybe later. I've got a lot of questions and stuff to answer here from donors, and that's what we're most concerned about right now, is to get some thanks out to these people who have donated to Child's Play charity at farlandsorbust.com. You can keep donating. I know we've raised our goal, but you can keep donating. And also, I suppose I should address the fact that this is not the Flobathon. I'm not going to be pressing F3 today. I will be, even though it has caught me off guard, I will be planning the Flobathon, the official end of Season 5 live stream celebration. Generally a bit of a marathon. Last year's was a 12-hour marathon. The year before that was 3 8-hour days, so 24 hours total. I'm trying to think of what to do and when to do it. We discussed in the Twitch chat whether or not to wait till episode 500, but that would be late June, and that might conflict with the next Zeldathon, so won't be doing that. I feel like getting it done right away. The last few times, specifically last year, there was quite a gap between when we raised the amount, the goal, and when we held the Flobathon. That was partially due to the fact that it was Mindcrack Marathon that raised the end amount. Like, all of a sudden, it almost doubled the amount, really, or it raised the $100,000 in that weekend. So I was a little bit caught off guard there, and I think there was a couple months before we actually then held Flobathon. I don't want to do that this time. I want to kind of keep the momentum up. I feel like we've got good vibes and good mojo and we've got good vibrations, right, sheep? That was inappropriate. But get back here. Yoink. So yeah, I feel like we'll get things running. Not this weekend will not work. Maybe next-ish weekend, the final weekend of May. Perhaps that's one I'm considering, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll figure it out. And until then, we'll make a elevated hidey hole here, and we'll answer some questions in the morning. Wolfie, are you okay? Stick with me. Stay away from lava. Good gravy. Good lava. Good gravy lava. Gravy lava. Burning. All right, let's go to sleep. And awakeness. And awakeness. Woo. All right. Continuing through this snowy biome. Let me answer the question. Let me just say out loud the entire comment and question from the very generous Farlander and donor who got us. Actually, was it Saturday? You people in the chat might have to remind me. I believe it was Saturday when suddenly we jumped up to 49,400 some odd dollars in our Child's Play charity fundraiser. And then it was from then that we got a few very generous donations, a few $100 donations and $50 donations. Those of you who were clamoring to get the one donation that got us over the top, and you certainly did. So yeah, this donation didn't actually get us over to the top, but it certainly got us extremely close. But yeah, this very generous donation came in, and this is what the person has to say. Thanks for bringing us along on your journey to the far lands, Kurt. Since it might take a while, and it goes right into the question. Since it might take a while for PC upgrades, since it might take a while, the Far Lands bus journey, and PC upgrades are inevitable given enough time, what do you think the specifications of your computer will be near the end of your journey? Could the hardware and software of the future be so advanced that you would need a PC emulator to properly run the game? That is certainly something to have considered. A very generous donor, whose name I will withhold just to make sure I do receive a message from the proper person, if at all. But yeah, that's something, think about even the last... I was just talking before the stream how Grand Theft Auto is making my computer melt, because I built it in 2012, so what is that, 3 years ago? And it is a GTX 570, and the processor is an i7, what did I say? 2600K, is that what it's called? Even in the past 3 years, how my computer is still powerful, still pretty powerful, still gets the job done, but it's out of date. And now consider the fact that people have calculated that the Far Lands bus journey to get to the Far Lands is going to take another 20 years. Think about 20 years ago. What computers were. They weren't anything, really. Well, I suppose 1995, okay, they were something. Windows 95. But even still, then, we were still using floppy disks. Were zip drives even a thing? I remember going through graphic design school and stuff and having to carry around Zip 100. Woo, 100 megabytes. Watch out now. Or the Zip 250s were the big ones. Woo, those were expensive. 250 megabytes. Wow, it's crazy. They could fit all that into one little... disk. A disk the size of your wallet. But yeah, just think in another 10 years. Although I have been reading articles that what is it called? There's the kind of the computer principle that processing power doubles every generation. What is that called? Somebody in the chat remind me of what that's called. It's named after a guy. This is very helpful. Normally, if I'm recording an episode of Far Lands of Bus, this would just go without answer, and I'd be like, well, I guess I'm never going to know what that was. What I was thinking of, it's called the something principle. Moore's Law, that's it. Thank you very much, Fruit Ninja 314. Moore's Law is that every either years or generation, computing power will double. I think I've been reading that that's now not the case anymore. We're kind of reaching a zone of twilightness. No, like a zone of like where we're just like the size is getting too small. We're gonna have to like go into like quantum computing or something in order to keep that up, and that just simply isn't viable as far as consumer computers are concerned, anyway. So yeah, I don't think that's the case anymore. But even still, what is the internet gonna be? What was the internet 10 years ago? YouTube wasn't around. YouTube was 2006. 10 years ago it was 2005. YouTube wasn't around. It was MySpace was the biggest thing, and you know, people were still people, as in myself and web designers, were still having to deal with Internet Explorer 5.5 on Macs, and how that really screwed everybody's day. Is anybody here a web designer? Do you remember having to explain to clients why their sites would not work on Internet Explorer 5.5 for the Macintosh computer? Oh my god, that was the worst. Oh, that was enough to send you into a drunken fervor. But yeah, it's hard to say, and it is a possibility that we might run into problems. I mean, the game itself runs on Java, which is kind of a scary thing. It isn't Chrome, or was it Firefox? One of the browsers has stopped bundling Java and supporting Java plugins. So what is to happen with that? So yeah, there might have to be some sort of roundabout. I should probably keep, despite the fact that I will be retiring this computer and getting another one and building another one, maybe I should keep this hardware around just in case. Just in case I need to fall back to something that I know for sure can play Far Lines of Bust in order to continue playing it and recording it and uploading it. I mean, heck, like right now we're using Ethernet cables, Cat5 cables. What if the internet changes? The interface for the internet changes. Of course, the ISPs and the telecommunications companies are going to do everything in their power to stunt and stop forward progress and speed and open availability of the internet. You know, what's going to happen legally, even, not even talking about the technical aspects of computing speed and internet speed. Legally, what's going to happen? Obviously, you may have heard that Comcast failed. Everyone rejoice. They have failed. They were going to be denied, so they withdrew their bid to buy Time Warner Cable for $32 ridiculous billion or whatever it was. You know, things like that happen. Okay, but now what are they going to do with that $32 billion? Probably something not friendly. I'm just assuming. I don't know. So we'll have to, you know, even on the legal scope of things, what's going to happen, gosh, in 10 years? California, it's going to be the Mad Max. Speaking of Mad Max, California is going to be, you know, a desert wasteland where genetically modified freaks are driving along the Fury Road for gasoline and water. That's maybe 5 years off, I'd say. But yeah, it's kind of crazy to think about. And that's kind of, I think, one of the reasons why people, I suppose, myself included, enjoy long-term journeys, progress, just kind of... it's almost a time capsule, and this is almost a time capsule just on the short term for Minecraft. I always say that one of the reasons I think a lot of people might like this series, I know one of the reasons I like playing in this series, is that it's Minecraft Beta 1.7.3. What is it? 1.7.3. Yeah, 1.7.3. God, I forgot what it was. It's kind of a time capsule to a past version of Minecraft that some people perhaps are nostalgic for. So yeah, it's kind of crazy, all the kind of variables you can think of. But I do very much... That's a good question to even... I don't think anybody can know. Even the people making the computers, you know, walk over to Intel or... I don't know, who makes computers? You know, the computing devices, ask them 20 years from now. They don't even have what, you know, they're not even working on what's going to be happening 10 years from now. They're just working on what's going to be happening next year or 2-3 years from now. So it's not... It's not something I, as a lowly user, could even possibly start to fathom. But it's crazy stuff indeed, right, Wolfie? And it's very crazy stuff. Your donation was very crazy stuff. All of what that can go to help get toys, books, games to kids in hospitals around the world. to Child's Play charity. Very generous, and I do appreciate the continued support from very generous donors such as yourself, and even any donation at all. And like I said, you can keep donating. Farlandsabust.com, farlandsabust.com. Yes, my chipset, people are now checking out my computer specs at farlandsabust.com. It's on the About page. And there's like, oh, geez, you're still running the Z78 chipset. I sure am, but I don't. There's not much to do about that. I've kind of been stuck with this. Yeah, I think the next computer I want to do is it the X99, the most recent, like the third revision of the current chipset. I know it's not the best for gaming, but I think I'd go for the 6-core one with hyper-threading, of course, because that always helps with video production. Not as far as like clock speed's not the highest. I think even my current processor has a higher clock speed, but just as far as future-proofing and whatnot. But that's a little bit away. We won't concern ourselves with that. We will concern ourselves, however, with sleeping away the night here in an elevated hidey hole, and then I'll get to the rest of these questions in the morning. It might. I was saying this is going to be a normal 3-day episode, but it might run to 4 days, depending on how much time I have here to answer these questions. But yeah, let's do that and continue in the morning. And awakeness. And awakeness. Bloop. Xavier Penguin, the name you've come to know as a frequent donor to Child's Play charity through Farlands of Bust, has another question with their donation that came in just before the live stream started. Hey, guy. Whoa. Oh, didn't work. That didn't work at all. There we go. Get arrowed as well as burned. I am a terrible shot. There we go. Wow, skeletons take a lot of arrows to kill in this version of the game. Get those back. Yoink, yoink, yoink. And 2 arrows for my troubles. See, that was worth it. Although, actually, it took 3 arrows to kill him, so... Oh! Package. Package has arrived. That was the UPS. No, Eva's freaking out. It's alright, Eva. She doesn't freak out that much at the doorbell. I think she was just sleeping, so that caught her off guard. Get murdered, pig. Get murdered. Or just get stared at longingly. There we go. There we go. Alright, 4 is enough. So, Xavier Penguin, if you were a pro wrestler, like on WWE, what would your finishing move be? What? What would be the name of your finishing move? Sorry, Wolfie, I'm reading questions here, and I'm trying to very gingerly get down. Oh, ah! Can you do it, Wolfie? Oh, well done. Good job. All right, that was successful. What would the name of your finishing move be if you were to wrestle against somebody in this fictional WWE universe? Who would be your tag team partner of choice, and who would you not like to go up against? I'm stuck. I'm stuck. I don't know anything about wrestling. I do not watch, nor do I follow, nor do I know anything about the WWE or the wrestling. The wrestling and the punching and the fighting and the pinning on the ground. The finishing move would be the St. Louis sidestep. It would have to be. That would be something where I sidestep and then, I don't know, clock him upside the head or kick him in the face. I have no idea how any of that works. But yeah, it would have to be the St. Louis sidestep, I think. I think that works. Does that not work? People are suggesting the bottomless swing of destiny, the Farlander punch, the knock him back to the far lands. But yeah, I like the St. Louis sidestep just because it's like my only move in a game that I can actually like lay claim to naming myself, I think. So yeah, the St. Louis sidestep I think sounds good. The Wolfie McWolfington seal of submission. but I don't know much about pro wrestlers. I think you were specifying like my tag team partner was from like YouTube or Mindcrack. I don't know who I would see. I don't know anything about wrestling. I don't even know how that works. I don't know. Who do you think should be? It should be Wolfie. Somebody named Wolfie. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I would be more of a lone wrestler as opposed to a team player. Am I right? I don't know. But I do appreciate that question. I'm sorry I don't know anything about the wrestling. Yeah, maybe Zisto because he's into that whole MMA fighting stuff. Gavin, yeah, Gavin, he'd do the slow-mo slam or something like that. You would like hang in air and slowly come down with the force, of 1,000 overinflated water balloons. So yeah, maybe that would work, I guess. Let's get to another question here from Ellie. Woo! Watch out, Wolfie. All right. Ellie asks, disregarding specific shows, do you have cable, satellite, antenna, or do you consume video purely via internet means? I have cable. I do have cable, as well as the internet. I ended up getting a package that just included everything, like with the cable and stuff, and that's okay for now. I suppose when the promotion ends, I'll drop the cable and upgrade the internet to the highest thing. But yeah, I don't really watch that much TV. I've been using it for like on-demand stuff. Like I recently got into watching Homeland, so I'm able to, because I have through the provider Showtime, I can log into the Showtime Now thing, even though now, much to the chagrin of much to the chagrin of my of most cable providers, is that like HBO and Showtime now you're able to actually get those internet services like separately for a separate fee. I don't know if it costs more or less or whatever, but yeah, you can get those separately without having cable. And Xavier Penguin just shows up to the live stream just to have missed his question. Here we go. We'll recap. St. Louis Sidestep. St. Louis Sidestep. Tag team partner. Gavin, who would have the slow-mo slam. And or Zisto, just because he knows wrestling. Like, at the MMA, MMO, Momomo, that type of wrestling, perhaps. He would have the single malt scotch, the single malt slam, as opposed to the slow-mo slam, I don't know. So there we go. Let's see here. I was answering about the internet. Yeah, so yeah, that's how I consume video. I don't watch that much TV, though. I don't really watch that much TV unless it's on-demand stuff, I guess. So there we go. There's that answer. Thank you very much, Ellie, for that question and donation. Timo says he forgot to leave his name the last time he donated. Does donating again now to do so make me vain? Yes, it does. And that is your question. And I don't know what question to apply your name to in the past. But there we go, Timo. You have gotten your name mentioned and question asked. Spooner79 asks, congrats on reaching your Season 5 fundraiser goal. Thank you! What was the first concert you ever went to? What was your favorite concert? If you could see any band perform, past or present, what would it be? I gotta bake some boats. We're gonna bake some boats with Julia Childs here. First concert, I think I went to a Sesame Street concert when I was very little, and I very badly wanted to meet Snuffleupagus, but was disappointed that I did not. He was only on stage. Snuffleupagus was my favorite. So yeah, that was the first concert I went to. Does that count? I don't know. I can't think of what was like the first like actual like music concert? I can't remember. I don't go to many at all. I went to an Interpol concert in Chicago with my sisters. Maybe that was like my first A-line, is that the word? A plus, A-line, top of the line type of musical concert to have gone to. No, maybe it wasn't. I've been to the one I've seen a lot is Sigur Rós, the Icelandic band. Pretty much any time they were in town, I went to go see them live. But yeah, I can't really think. I haven't. That's like those two are the only concerts I've ever been to. I've never been to the Lollapaloozas or the Pitchforks or the big outdoor concerts don't appeal to me. There was the one Lollapalooza where Radiohead was playing that that would have been cool, but then again, no thanks for Lollapalooza. There was last year's Pitchfork in Chicago, had St. Vincent, which I was later able to watch on YouTube, but it seemed like a really cool set that would have been cool to see live. But then again, I'm like, nah. So yeah, I don't get out to the concerts that often. I'm afraid, so I don't have. Sigur Rós would be my favorite, just because I've seen them multiple times, so I'll go with that. And you know what? We'll extend this to a 4-day episode, simply because I still have a few more questions to get here that I promised I would answer for people. I have a bunch of dirt. Why am I making dirt? I don't need to make dirt. I need to make a bed. That's what I needed to do. Excuse me. You're in my way. There we go. So let's make another bed here. Whoop. All right. Well, now you've done it. Now you've done it. You stepped in front of me while I was trying to craft a bed. And now you're dead. And now you're dead. Wolfie. Wolfie knows. He was responsible, actually. So yeah, there we go. Extra day. Get an extra day for your dollar. Buy 3, get 1 free. All right, let's continue on then in the morning. And awakeness. Woo! Kurt, this isn't a question, but I felt it was relevant. Well, it is a question, but not from a donor. I lost it. I'm losing it. Where's it going? Zorthur asks, Kurt, please explain the St. Louis sidestep. That is a racing move that I invented. I can't remember when I first mentioned it. Was it the original Grid game? It was basically, when you're driving and you're taking a turn in a race, and you start on the outside of the line, and there's somebody you need to pass, and then you cut to the inside during the turn, and then on the exit, you take like a shallow apex, and you get past them. Normally also works much more flamboyantly if done drifting and sideways, and at a crazy amount of speed. I call that the St. Louis sidestep. I just kind of like made it up as I did it the first time. It was kind of like a dramatic thing, like, oh, got that spot. It was the St. Louis sidestep. Makes sense. It's an actual move. It's probably called something else in actual racing, but I just called it the St. Louis sidestep. It might have been Driver San Francisco. There's not a lot of racing in Driver San Francisco. I think it was the first Grid. You might have to look back and watch all of my previous racing videos to find where it was at, and also watch all the ads and click thumbs up while you're at it. But yeah, I think that's where the St. Louis sidestep came from. It was just It wasn't a reference to anything. I'd never heard it before, as far as I'm aware. I just came up. I'm a genius, basically, is what I'm trying to say. I invent all these terms. I'm surprised I haven't made a t-shirt. I should make a t-shirt about the St. Louis sidestep or something. But anyway, let's get to some questions here from donors. Answered from Timo, and the concert question from Spooner. If you could see any band perform past the present, probably Radiohead. Yeah, I'll go with Radiohead, because I did not ever see them live. Of course, if I could go past the present, I don't know, Nirvana maybe would be also something that'd be pretty cool to see. Not sure. Just because I don't fancy going to the concerts anyway. It's really not something that I think about a lot. From Chris Arruda. rolled R's added by myself. You've got to, excuse me, what's the matter you? You got to have a pretty minimalistic approach to stuff due to the inventory space in Far Lands or Bust. Do you have that same approach in real life? I try to. I used to buy a lot of nonsense and like collectible stuff that just ended up taking up a bunch of space that I've since gotten rid of. Specifically with the move. If you want to get rid of a lot of junk, or get motivated to get rid of a lot of junk, just pick up and move across the country. That is something I can recommend. You just end up trying to like sell stuff or give stuff to family, but then by the end of it, you're like, okay, just drop it off at Goodwill. So that's kind of what happened with that. But I try to. I often fail to. Excuse me, Wolfie. But it's, yeah, try to buy, like, the stuff you need or you know you're going to use more than once. And then when you do buy stuff, I kind of go a little bit overboard with the research to make sure I'm getting the best, which is probably... I should have and could have probably just bought this new graphics card already, but I'm, like, sitting here, well, there's this one, or there's this brand, or maybe I should just, wait a little bit for E3, like people have recommended, and, then prices are going to drop because the next big thing's going to come out, and like, I could just go for a 980 instead of a 970, and it's a disease. It's a sickness. But yeah, you try to buy the quality for your money, something that'll last. Preferably as far as like certain things are, like clothes and whatnot. Try to avoid the cheap stuff, both in the sense of durability and practicality, but also a little bit of a what's the word I'm looking for? Social awareness, I suppose. You hear about all these clothing manufacturer buildings collapsing in Bangladesh and stuff, and that's where stuff from Walmart and Old Navy and stuff comes from, and I'm always kind of checking the tags to see where stuff comes from, but yeah, a little bit simplistic. I wouldn't say minimalistic. I'm no minimalist or anything like that, but yeah, there we go. There we go indeed. Thank you very much for that donation, by the way. Bryce D says, I had a dream about looking for earthworms after watching your episode where you talked about that. Do you have any strange dreams? I most certainly do. Would you like me to elaborate? I don't, I'm trying to think if I had any weird dreams last night. Well, I think I talked to my dad yesterday and my family, and I know he was thinking of coming out to visit at some point. So then I think I had a dream about, like I was renting a place in a city or something, and it was really crappy and had a very small water heater, like really tiny, like the size of a gallon jug. So like he came over to upgrade the water heater or something. And I was very nervous because I thought the place I was renting was like of low quality and I would be judged poorly by my dad or something. I don't know. That was kind of a weird dream, but really nothing in particular happened. But yeah, it tends to... dreams tend to follow, like... It always is like the most random of things. It's not like the most important thing in your day you never end up dreaming about. It's like the one-off comment from somebody that mentions like something, and then you have a dream. Totally, the plot line is surrounded about that. My dreams don't tend to have plots either. I know some people who have like dreams about that have a beginning and a middle and a goal and a problem to solve. Mine just meander, and meander throughout certain things, and it just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. There's just various scenes that don't tend to blend together well in my dreams. Yeah, I don't have any special, I'm afraid, dream stories to share at this exact juncture. But I do appreciate the donation to Child's Play Charity. And like I said, you can keep donating to Child's Play Charity at farlandsbus.com. If you're watching live right now, you can donate, ask a question. I will add it to the list to answer in the next episode, which will be on Wednesday. Wednesday, as I like to say. Am I meandering too much? I see talk of meandering in the chat. Yes, I meander. There's no specific straight line I go in, nor do I really try to think of speed. You know, people say, oh, you should spend most of your time in a boat because that goes faster than just walking. But then that's kind of boring in my opinion. And then I also risk running into Wolfie when he spawns, or have Wolfie not spawn. So yeah, I'm constantly going back and forth, and I see like a cool structure, I'll walk over to it. I'm like a lost puppy or something. I'm just checking out. I'm very curious about my surroundings, checking out what's going on, what's up, what's down, what's over here. See, like this, walking across trees for some reason. I don't know why I did that. I have no explanation for you. I don't have to explain myself. It's Firelands a Bust. This is how we roll, my friends. This is how we roll. Do you already know that we reached the goal? Yes. Yes, I do. For those of you just joining on Twitch, if you're on YouTube, I hope that you watch the beginning of the episode and don't just skip to the end. But yeah, we have reached our goal, $50,000. I'll check once again before the end of the episode here to see if anybody donated during the episode. But yeah, $50,000 for Season 5 of Firelands a Bust. We did it! This is not the Flobathon. We're not pressing F3. But I will be planning, and I will indeed be letting everybody know and scheduling an actual Flobathon shortly in the next 2 weeks. It's possible before the end of May, might go into the beginning of June, because June 5th, I've been told, is actually the day I uploaded episode 31 of Firelands a Bust, when we first started calling it Firelands a Bust and actually first started raising money for Child's Play charity. Our simple goal of $820 at the time, and now we've raised $50,000 in one season, and I think I've got to tally up the final numbers, but I think it's over $300,000 that we've raised for Child's Play charity since the beginning of Firelands a Bust, and that is amazing. That is crazy. I never in a million years would have thought that anything I would be doing would be associated with such generosity and just donations. And I mentioned before, even when I started, probably in that episode 31, I never got too involved with charity or volunteering. I never like volunteered at like the youth center or like the canned goods place for homeless people. Those sort of things. I never did much of that or any of that growing up or even in my early adulthood. I still don't really take a physical presence towards doing stuff like that, but this is kind of a cool thing that we're doing and a cool way that we're helping out kids in hospitals around the world, and I think it's worked out just fine and dandy, don't you? Don't you? So yeah, I do appreciate everybody following along here, and of course all the donations, regardless of how many zeros there are after the first number. Every donation has counted towards this goal and the overall goal that we've raised for Child's Play charity, over $300,000, and of course this season over $50,000. Very amazing, and still something that I'm a little bit. Oh, hello. Perhaps you would like to not have your face in some dirt, and still something I'm not quite. I'm not quite grasping. I'm not quite able to wrap my head completely around, but I do very much appreciate all the support from Farlanders around the world. Around the world, indeed. So yeah, let's make this end of the episode hidey hole for episode 484 of the series. Bloop, 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 bloop. I need to put that in the center there because I am obsessive compulsive. We'll say goodnight to Wolfie as there's still some light over there for some reason. Light updates, blink, blink. Let's plunk down the chest. And boop, 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 beep, bop, bop, boop, 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 beep, bop, bop, beep, 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 boop, boop. This is the Making the Bed song. A little bit different than the Torches, Torches, Torches song, but it's a work in progress. We need to figure out the chorus. It's like a couple boats for the next episode. So yeah, here it is. Like I said, episode 44 of Firelands Bust. Thank you everybody for joining in the Twitch chat. Please stick around. The live stream isn't necessarily over when this episode ends, but the YouTube video will be. And everybody watching on YouTube, stay tuned for news about the upcoming Flobathon. We'll still have regularly scheduled Far Lands Bust episodes Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So look forward to those the next few weeks up until I start to plan and announce and solidify the schedule for the next Flobathon. And I'm really looking forward to it. I hope you are too. Spooky noises. It's time to sleep. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Kurt. I will see you next time. You stepped in front of me while I was trying to craft a bed, and now you're dead. And now you're dead.